Greetings from the lair of the Widow Flanagan. Ooh. I'm Dara. I have been a widow for just over 6 months. And I do have something I want to talk about. And I hope it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings because I love you all. But today I want to talk about don't compare grief. It's not fair to anyone. You know, there's different kinds of grief. The stages of grief are the same. The all-encompassingness of grief is the same, but that's where it ends. You know, I lost my spouse. Leo's parents lost their son. Leo's kids lost their dad. It's very different grief. So I was visiting my dad a few months ago, and he wanted me to hang out with one of his longtime friends because she had lost recently quite a few people in her life, and he thought that it would be good for me to talk to her. And I had to tell him, no, I don't want to. And the reason I don't want to is because I don't have the capacity to take on anyone else's grief right now. I don't have the capacity to have that kind of empathy just right now because I'm so deep in my own grief that I don't have the bandwidth to hear about that from somebody else, especially when it's different. You know, like I think that oftentimes people go up to people who've lost someone and say, I'm so sorry you lost your parent. I know what you feel because I lost my spouse. Not true. Untrue. You do have no idea what they're feeling. You cannot compare your grief with theirs. Equally valid, equally important to address and discuss and share with people, but don't compare with people because you have no idea what somebody who lost their spouse is going through. Only somebody who lost their spouse or their life partner can understand what I'm going through. I could not begin to understand what anyone that lost their parent is going through, or God forbid, Leo's parents lost their kid. I mean, come on, we all know that that should never happen. And they lost him in a really hard way. It was a hard way to watch your child deteriorate like that. It was really hard to watch my husband do it, you know? But I can't imagine what they're feeling or what they felt or what it's like for them. And I have no idea what Leo's kids are going through. You know, they lost their dad. How hard is that? Especially unexpectedly, and especially in 99 days from start to finish. You know, I don't know what that kind of loss is like. I'm very fortunate. I have my parents still. I have siblings still. I don't know what any of that's like, you know? And just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't come up to someone who's just lost their child and say, I lost my husband last year. I know what you're feeling, because you don't. Find another way to relate to them. You know, find a different way to relate to whoever it is you're talking to. Stages of grief you can talk about, all sorts of things, but don't say you know, because you don't unless you have been through that exact experience. And I think that that's just important for everybody to know. You know, we're all shitty. You know, we're still shitty. Don't ask us how we are. We're shitty. It's hard. We hate it. We would do just about anything, anything to bring him back. So don't tell me you know what I'm going through if you have not experienced it. But even other people, you know, don't tell somebody who lost their sibling, oh, I understand, I lost my parents. That's not the same either. It's a completely different bond, a completely different relationship. So take it for what it's worth. Use it if you like it. Don't if you don't like it. But, you know, just don't. Grief is not to be compared because it's not fair to any of the parties. Grief's meant to be shared, but not compared because it's not fair. Yes, I just did that. Widow Flanagan, out.